Hello, I'm Dr. Tom, and I'd like to welcome you to another Friday update. And as we lead up to our global video conference, our global family video conference that's coming up on August the 1st, I want to remind you that we have a section on the website, a community or a forum section, where you can begin to build relationships with people from all over the world. And I was reminded of this from one of our members in Australia who said, if you would just tell people that that exists, it will put more people into that forum and more people on that community page, and understanding the building of those relationships that begins the minute you join Gin. It is such a rewarding thing to watch and to observe and to see these relationships grow and build, and who knows how many of your lifetime friends you will find inside this club. I will tell you that it happens because I've watched it for 11 years. I've watched what's happened throughout the development of this club, and I've watched those relationships, and I've watched how they're meaningful relationships that are developed as a result of this club. Today I also want to talk about on that video conferencing that we're going to be doing. It will be at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time on that Saturday of August 1st. And we will be having a live presentation that will be from Blaine and Dr. Ted and from Lee and from myself. And what will happen is that we will then be releasing some information onto the website. We will be releasing some information from many of your members. Among those will be Tom Ward and the information that we will share. We'll get into this a little bit later, but I just wanted to give you an example of just a part of what's going to happen on that Saturday, because Meg and Aaron will be sharing some more information about the youth program, and of course Sifu Stefan will be with us to share more of his family's wisdom and the way in which you can improve your life, and of course we'll have Shelley Miller on there talking about the I Ching system that many of you that are brand new. I'm so excited for you because many of you that are brand new don't even know about this aspect of the club and what she brings and what her team brings to the healing and the energy of the Global Information Network. And you know, these are just a few of the names. I'll be releasing some more next week. I will tell you that the viewing is up on virtually every aspect of what we do inside Gin. And part of that, I want to do a shout out to a two-part series that Blaine did actually in the member development series called Plugging into the System. It will help explain to you why there are different aspects of this system of Gin and the Success Mastery course, and how you can get the most out of your membership. It is great information. I will tell you also that the viewership is up, the click rate is up on the Terrific Tuesdays, on the Wellness Wednesdays, on the Financial Fridays, on the Member Development Series, on the Power Up Series from Sifu Stefan. All of these things are up. The viewing is up on the new levels as people are upgrading, which so many people are doing in order to get to the level 7, which qualifies you to level 8 free with KT. The viewing that is happening online and on the site it's a great chart to watch, because I know that people are getting the benefit, and I know that they're taking action, because an action step is to begin to watch these series, The Science of Personal Mastery. It's amazing what's happening as this club expands and as this club grows and as people gain more information. It turns into recruiting, which people refer their friends and their family members into this club, into your club. And that's what's so rewarding for us to watch and for us to monitor and us to learn from, because we know the score and we're monitoring what types of things people are attracted to, the length of those study courses, whether they're a half hour or 3 minutes or 7 minutes or 14 minutes. All of these things are being tested in different ways so that we can deliver the best message in the shortest amount of time for the most people. And that's what this club is about. Today I want to talk about why it is. Why is that? You know, as a business owner in any business, when you see your business going up or when you have your finger on the pulse of your business, you say, why are these trends happening? Why is it that viewership is up? Why is it the number of clicks are up? Why is it that people are staying longer when they do a click? And we believe it's because of the positive messaging that we send out in Gen. We are a positive group of people, and our intention is exactly that. We understand that these are life-changing bits of information. And maybe you watch something and you get one single takeaway. Maybe it's just one concept. Maybe it's just one way of looking at something that you've looked at for years, yet you're seeing it through new eyes. You're seeing it in a new unit of time. You're seeing it in a way in which you didn't know was even possible until you joined Gen, until you listened to Your Wish is Your Command, until you plugged into the system, until you began to apply some of the techniques. You see, some of it requires action, some of it requires thought. And the thought process is what I want to talk about today. Because it was interesting. Today's lesson is coming from the Law of Success from Napoleon Hill. And I went over and selected one of the books today and opened up to a page. And this particular chapter is talking about self-control. And so I said, self-control, an interesting concept. And so I flipped to the front of the book to see which lesson, which number, because I couldn't remember which number lesson the lesson on self-control is. And it's lesson number 8, which I found a beautiful tie-in to level 8 and the self-control and the thought process it will take to get you to level 8. It's simply making a couple of decisions. Join by the end of this year, be level 7 by the end of next year, and the world is your oyster. So in this concept of self-control, I was so taken, it's interesting to read something that's 100 years old and look at it in today's light, because it is so appropriate. What I'm going to share with you today is something that could have been written today. Because these truths, these principles, these concepts are universal truth. And they've been around a long time, and they weren't new in 28. They were just written down in this particular book, in this accumulation of training, which is spectacular. There was a statement made in there that says that you are the result of 1,000,000 years of evolution. The things that worked for survival were continued, and the things that didn't work went away. That's how evolution works over a long period of time. And 1,000,000 years, I would certainly consider a long period of time. And it goes on to say that you are the finest specimen of animal that ever has existed on this planet. And when you think of it that way, understand that while we may be in the middle of a pandemic, we may be having a health crisis, we have challenges, humanity has been through these things before. And humanity will come out of this. And humanity will be stronger as a result of this. I truly believe that. He goes on to reference that you are the most powerful, highly organized form of energy known to man. And you possess this, and it is called thought. I want to share a couple of excerpts because I think it's important that we understand where this information is coming from. No other animal has ever been endowed with such self-control as you possess. You've been endowed with the power to use the most highly organized form of energy known to man, that of thought. It is not improbable that thought is the closest connecting link there is between the material and physical things of this world and the world of divinity. You see, it's the thought process that bridges the gap to the divine. What kind of thoughts are you thinking? What kind of thoughts do you spend your time on during each day? We'll get to that in a minute. He goes on to say that the thoughts you have are one of two types. It's either autosuggestion, where you think of the thought, or it's suggestion, in which someone else introduces the thought process to you for you to contemplate. And listen to this. You can select the material out of which your thinking is produced, and that is autosuggestion or self-suggestion. You can permit others to select the material out of which your thinking is produced, and that is called suggestion. It is a humiliating fact that most thought is produced by the outside suggestions of others, And it is even more humiliating still to have to admit that the majority of us accept this suggestion without either examining it or questioning its soundness. Listen to that. We read the daily papers as though every word were based upon fact. We are swayed by the gossip and the idle chatter of others as though every word were true. You see, and this was in the 20s. This was before there was an internet. And this was before there was television. And this was before video, which is a more powerful form of communication. Yet the same principles still apply to this day when you see, the old adage of it must be true, it was on TV. Well, that certainly has changed over the years. It started with it must be true, it was in print. You see, this is a classic example of why we should use discernment and how important discernment is and who you listen to. What sources of information are you utilizing to base your decisions to create your reality and create your thoughts, which become autosuggestion or self-thoughts? Place in your own mind, through the principle of autosuggestion, the positive, constructive thoughts which harmonize with your definite chief aim in life. You see how this is woven into the Success Mastery course? Positive, constructive thoughts which harmonize. You see, they're congruent with your chief aim. When you live your life with congruency to your chief aim and your purpose, happiness is a direct result. Let me read it again. Place in your own mind, through the principle of autosuggestion, the positive, constructive thoughts which harmonize with your definite chief aim in life, and that mind will transform those thoughts into physical reality and hand them back to you as a finished product. You get what you think about most of the time. This is called thought control. What thoughts are you thinking on a daily basis? What narrative is it that you choose to listen to on a daily basis? You see, your brain is the site that sets these things in motion. So the thoughts that we put into our mind are the thoughts that come back to us from autosuggestion, the thoughts that just come to you out of thin air, if you will. They come to you from memory. They come to you from the ways in which you have stored them with the feelings and the emotions that you put together. So when you revisit those feelings and emotions, you recreate that thought and it recreates the energy of your desires. It recreates the energy through autosuggestion. It recreates that energy so that you can, in fact, be, do, and have your desires. Thoughts are things. It is the one thing you are 100% in control of. You can control your thoughts. And by doing so, you control your destiny. Thank you for allowing Jen to be a part of your destiny. We love you and appreciate you. I'm Dr. Tom. I'll talk to you next week.